Yo, what's up, people? This is Shogun and my man Ricky right here. How y'all doing? All right, if you can't give yourself a pat on the back, I don't know what you can do, right? All right, so you had a good day today, man.
Yeah, so far, so far, so good.
All right, so we are going to check out the Transformers Origin trailer. And I already seen this, so I have my opinions on it, and I'm interested to see what yours is.
Okay, let's check it out.
All right. Alrighty. And put that over here. Sorry. All right, here we go. Tell me if you can't hear it.
Hey, what is up, Transformers fans?
Yeah, it's good.
Oh, no trailer is about to drop.
Good.
Oh man, I can't wait. I can't wait.
It's good.
Oh yeah, then let's drop it. Here it comes. Let's do it. Okay, let's do it.
So
The Transformers 1 trailer starts now. You'll do it. That's good. I like that.
I like it too.
The Transformers 1 trailer starts now.
So, how long do you think we'll be here? I'm not talking to you.
You know what? We are so screwed.
Thought you weren't talking to me.
You two, come with me. Report to Waste Management.
Hi there, I'm B127. I'm actually working on some nicknames. The one I'm floating right now is Badassatron, which is actually pronounced Badassatron.
We're gonna call you B.
I was gonna say that's Bumblebee.
yeah.
I know we're just lowly worker bots who can't even transform. Don't you want to see what's out there? There's a reason no one goes to the surface. It's dangerous.
Why'd you bring jetpacks?
If we survive this, I'm gonna kill you.
I accept those terms.
The surface.
It's beautiful.
You have proven yourself worthy. Take these and access your full potential.
It's time to show them we are more than meets the eye.
We can transform now.
On 3, 1. Ah, it's working! Where's my head? How do we use these things? Oh, look at wheels! I need wheels! Woo! Guys, that's not good.
We've got these powers for a reason. Let's use them.
We stand here together as one.
Whoa! I got a battle mask! It appeared with this guy. Knife hands? I have knife hands!
I can see that. These are not the bad guys.
Why did you cut the door?
No, it was already like that. Right?
Yes, that's right.
Yes.
It was. Yeah,
Yes.
it was already like. Yeah, that's right.
All right. What do you think?
Yeah, it's pretty good. I like that animation.
Okay.
It made it more like into a comedy, so it's pretty.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty good.
Yeah, like the second time looking at it, it's like
It's on the origin, right? How they started.
right, which is it's not how the actual there's an actual origin for Transformers.
Yeah,
That's not it. But yeah, there are two different factions on the planet who had like a civil war. So Megatron was always bad. I'm not sure how I feel about them trying to make him a sympathetic bad guy. which is kind of
Well, at
like
that
a
time, I think they were friends, isn't it? They try to make it sound like they were friends at that back then.
right, and they had a falling out. That seems to be the angle that they're taking. It's just I'm not too sure how I actually feel about that, to be honest.
I
But
think they're trying to get for more of the little kids to go watch it.
yeah, because
It's more most of right now all the movies are animations. That's where they're making the money off it.
yeah, I guess it's just I don't know. Like I said, I don't. I think I will see it. I will see it, but it's like I don't know. It doesn't turn me off, but it doesn't turn me on either, kind of thing. Whereas like
My
okay,
only question is,
mhm.
when they were in their planet, they built into themselves a car. They have cars over there.
Yeah, they had futuristic cars, like
Oh, okay.
so. I'm trying to remember from the original cartoon, like the movie, because that's the first time I think they probably did have some elements in the cartoon when it came out in the 80s.
I do
But
remember some cartoon of Transformers. That was way back, but
right, yeah, in the 80s it came out, and then they had the Transformers the movie where people were dying. So I'm like, what the hell? Like Optimus Prime was killing people, and yeah, so they showed the war on Cybertron, and they had futuristic cars,
oh, okay.
right?
Well, they're making a new movie too, right? Transformer with GI Joe. That's
They alluded to that at the end of the last Transformers movie. Yes. Now, if that will actually happen, I don't know because I don't know who still maintains the rights to that movie. So I don't know.
I think
I
eventually
just
you get bored with Transformers. They're making so many movies. I think that's why they're trying to go more animation.
yeah, this is true. I think they haven't really like I don't know. Sometimes you would hope that they go back a little bit to how the 80s version of this stuff was, where I didn't particularly I didn't hate the first Transformers movie by Michael Bay. All right, I didn't love it either, but I didn't hate it. I didn't like the focus on the humans, but Steven Spielberg said that's what he wanted to do, and that's what they did. The second one, and it started to get kind of ridiculous at the towards the end. I think with the when he was riding around on Grimlock with the sword and the knights and all that stuff, I'm like, I think I might be done with this. And then,
But I
Mark,
did. I think the first two movies they did good in the box office.
right? I mean, dude, no, the Transformers movies, like pretty much all of them did good.
And the
Like,
actors they had, and then
yeah,
also the new Camaro came out, and when
mhm.
the first,
Yeah, that's why they changed Bumblebee into that
yeah.
because it was like a refresh, and I guess they must have paid money for them. They
Oh
wanted to,
yeah, imagine
yeah.
all the Camaros they just bought it because of the
Yeah,
Transformers.
dude, he looked cool, and that's when they made him from a bumbling sidekick to a badass warrior bot who didn't talk. So, no,
What was that?
that
What was the actress that came out on the first movie? The
um,
girl.
oh, Megan Fox,
Yeah, I
she
think
looks,
that's
yeah,
where they had a nice actress, and then they had the brand new car. It's made
mhm.
it so popular. That's why everybody was watching it.
Dude, she looks a little weird now, but bro, she was the girl when she came out, and until someone noticed her toe thumbs. But everybody can't be perfect. But that was a Michael Bay staple, though. It was like hot chick, lots of action, story kind of like, but even the Michael Bay stories got kind of too Michael Bay, like one of the ones where they had a dude who was dating Marky Mark's daughter, and she was kind of underage. So the boyfriend carried around like a card that had a state law on it that said that it was okay for him to date his underage daughter. He actually showed it in the movie, right? And so I'm sitting there like, what the hell am I looking at? Like, why are you trying to justify the fact that you like little kids? But he's like, all right. So that was weird. And he actually was driving his car and he hit a dude in the face with one of his tires. So he jumped up, somehow spun the car in the air so that he knocked the dude out by hitting him in the face with a tire as the car was like driving, and it didn't kill him.
You know, for the next movie, they should get is John Cena as a GI Joe.
Oh, okay. Which one?
For the next movie coming up with Transformers, go with GI Joe.
No, all right. No, what I mean is like which GI Joe should he be?
I don't know wherever he could. I'm pretty sure they could just put him there.
Dude, Sergeant, like they got Sergeant Slaughter. He could do that.
Yeah, he has a haircut, military,
Mm-hmm.
and he's funny.
Yeah. So I don't know. The second one didn't really help The Rock that much. So I don't know. All right. So are you going to see this movie when it comes out?
Yeah, I'm gonna go try it out.
Okay. All right. So what do you want to talk about next then? Do you want to get into Fallout? Because I did watch the first 2 episodes.
Yeah, the Fallout.
All right. So let me do this. So overall, I know you watched all of them. What did you think overall for the whole thing?
It was good. It was just the cowboy guy. What's the actor? He's pretty good.
Yeah, Scoggins or something.
Yeah, and it was kind of more like comedy, so it kind of made it more funnier.
Mm-hmm.
So from all of them, I thought it was good. I liked it.
Okay.
But you say it's a video game, right? They're based off a video game.
Yeah, the whole premise is basically it's actually pretty interesting. Because I watched this show, I started getting into the lore bit. All right, so all of like for the most part, all of the vaults, they were experiments, right? So each experiment was a different thing that this company was doing. So Vault-Tec was an evil freaking company. Right?
I believe the wife was the wife of the cowboy guy was involved with that, right?
Hmm?
The wife.
All right. What do you mean? See, I only watched the first 2. So
I already watched that. I don't want to spoil it.
All right. So like I told Elton, because he'll be back next week. So I'm like, I'll watch all of them and we'll discuss the overall thing like next week, but we can talk about the first 2 episodes. So I don't know anything about the ghoul's wife or anything like that.
Okay, so I don't want to spoil it.
All right, so that's what I said. We can just talk about the first 2 then. And so it's based off a video game, and like if you want to get into some crazy stuff, check out the lore for the vault. They had one where they decided to do and I just saw this one today. It was 999 men and 1 woman. And then in the other one, it was 999 women and 1 man. And so they wanted to see what would happen if you did that. All right.
Okay.
So imagine being 1 female trapped in a vault with 999 men who, after a while, start murdering each other, at least allegedly, because you basically like you play the game and you find these things, and then you find like if you look on the computers when you go into the vault, you find out what happened to this particular one.
But there were different bolts connected to different ones, right?
Right. They were connected, but some were connected to each other, and some were for like in different parts of the country.
Right? Yeah, and there was their own their own families, like their own just want to say like their own group. Right.
So, but the thing is they were experiments. So they were experimenting on people. So these things weren't designed.
Down.
Yeah. Yeah. So they weren't designed to be like nice, happy places. It was like they had one where they basically said that you have to sacrifice 1 person every year for people for them to survive or whatever, right? But you find out that if they would have decided to not do that at all, after they decided not to do it, then they would have got a message saying that congratulations, you have like proved that humanity can be saved and all this other stuff. And they didn't have to do anything, but the people sacrificed somebody and they didn't have to.
On the first episode, why did they asked the girl to get married with somebody else from another. She didn't know.
Oh, dude, they was in there for 200 years. So at some point, you didn't had sex. Like, all right, so everybody who's not related after a while has had sex with with everyone who's not related. So eventually, you start having cousins and second cousins, and this person is related to that person, and so on and so forth. So she didn't want to continue getting fondled by her cousin. So,
Oh,
all right, so her dad came over from another, supposedly came over from another vault. All right. So, and it was like a tradition, like you exchange people and you exchange like information and stuff like that.
what was
So
it?
that
Episode 2? Was it episode 1 or episode 2 when they kidnapped them?
it was the end of episode 1.
Okay.
So episode 2, like it ends with her deciding to go out into
Go find them.
yeah.
Yeah, because it was the Raiders, right? It was, the Raiders took over
Yeah.
the other boat. They killed everybody to get into the boat. They went to kidnap the dad.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, it's like there's at least from my point of view, you've seen the whole thing. So I know that there's more to it than what's going on. And I have a sneaky suspicion that he was probably a raider too, or something like that.
You'll see at the end. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So, I'm gonna check the rest out. And basically the way that I described it to Elton was that like it was cool. Like it didn't I didn't hate it, but it didn't blow my skirt up yet. And the initial impression that I got for the first two characters you meet, Lucy and the other dude from the Steel Warrior guy, it's like they do stuff without a plan. It's like they just decide to do crap and kind of work it out at some point, kind of thing. And I'm like, so I'm sitting there looking at like, you don't seem to have a plan on how you're gonna do anything. It's just kind of like,
And the girl didn't even take no weapons or anything.
well, she had the tranquilizers, and all right, because basically what happens in the game is that you are let out of the vault,
But there's
right?
monsters out there, right?
But you don't know that. So from their point of view, everybody on the surface is either dead or like erratic, like full of radiation, right? That's from their point of view because none of these people who survived the blast or everybody, all the people dead. So it's stories that have been told to them by their grandparents and their grandparents kind of thing. So they have no idea what's going on outside. They know that everything outside is probably bad. So they live in this suburban environment based off of where they were at in the 50s. So has a kind of not lackadaisical, but a simplistic viewpoint of the world where everybody gets along and you share and you do this, that, and the other. Right. So when she goes out into the world, that she just kind of like do, right? Have no clue. And that's what the point where I'm like, it seems weird that you would do this. Like you have no clue what's going on outside. Like none.
And they made it more like comedy. That's why.
Well, and like there are
It's kinda like comedy.
Yeah, there are comedy elements in the game. It's like, but because it is like there's an overall story to it that if you just follow the main missions, you'll do the main like stuff. But there's so much crap on the peripherals that you can get lost in that, right? So there's like other little side missions, and they'll send you over here and they'll send you over there, and then the more of those you do, the more you understand what happened after your ancestors went into the vault, right? How so many people survived, and how everything happened like it is, and then eventually, if I'm not mistaken, I think you find out more elements of what actually happened, kind of the truth, kind of thing. But it's been a while since I played any of these games, so. But it's pretty interesting in terms of just the overall craziness of the environment. All right. So like from the ghouls and and everybody that you run across. The one thing I did not like was Michael Rappaport's character. All right.
Who was that?
That was the Lord, the guy in this metal suit. All right, so the second episode, the black dude becomes a squire. He has his own knight, which is the guy in the suit.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, so they send him out on a mission, and he does Michael Rappaport type stuff. He's cussing, he's doing this other stuff. He comes across as a huge coward, and it's like, bro, like I don't understand. Like it would have been a better story if the squire found out how full of shit these dudes were over time, right?
But what was the purpose of them? What was they dropping them off with, like with the suits and somebody carrying out all the equipment?
No, it's like a square. It's like he's a knight. Yeah, like you know about the story with knights and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Right. So it's that basically that. It's like you learn how to be a knight from being with a knight.
Oh, so you're like the
Yeah, he's a
just like the
squire. He's an
apprentice?
apprentice. Yeah.
Okay.
So
but
he carries this
the load.
right. So he carries the stuff. He cleans the armor. While you're cleaning the armor, you're learning how it works.
Oh, okay.
You know how to fight.
But
You
what
teach
was the
them-
purpose of them going out there? Is to kill out the monsters?
No, the purpose is they have missions and they're looking for technology.
Oh, okay. Because they
So-
were like a militia, right?
So basically, it was like a group of people who probably was started to protect like a small area or whatever, and then they found some technology, and then they, I've only played like one or two of these games, so I'm kind of speculating here. So I probably found some technology and used that to protect people, and they started just like this whole thing, right?
It looked like they were a brotherhood because it looked like the
Yeah,
guy
that's what it's called, the Brotherhood of the Steel.
It's like a priest or something.
Right. It's a whole thing.
Yeah.
Right. So for me, the story would have been better if the dude still died. Like he could have still died because he died. So if he would have died and would have told him to take his armor and complete the mission, it's like, I know you haven't been trained, but we got to find this guy. So that would have made the Brotherhood look better. Like, and not like just a full of shit organization that you just crapped on in 5 minutes. Like that was not, I didn't really like that part because he's running around. He's like, fuck. I'm like, what the hell, dude?
It looked like an Iron Man suit, huh?
Right. But I mean, that's what it is mech. So you get it in the games. So the first couple of games, I think you have to go look for one, and the other later ones, they give it to you fairly quickly, and it allows you to fight off stronger enemies in the game. So it's like, because essentially the way the game is you leave the vault, you have nothing. You have no knowledge of anything, like nothing. So you got to find stuff in order so that you can survive being out in the wilderness, right?
It looked like they're based off like they're in California, huh?
Right. So that's where they're at. But the Brotherhood of the Steel, I think from Philly or something. Is so the name of the town, calling the town Philly, that is an odd to one of the games. So it's like they come from Philadelphia, I think.
Okay.
So calling the town Philly, that's kind of an homage to that kind of thing.
Yeah,
So there's a lot.
You'll see like when you reach like the 7th or 8th
Mhm.
episodes, the girl when she goes out, she ends up in another boat, but you'll see it's kind of funny.
Yeah, so dude, like I said before, it's a lot of experiments and stuff like that. This like the Voltec was not a good group of people, like not at all.
And they grow their own food down there, huh?
Well, I mean, that's the only way you're going to survive. So yeah, so you have well, like some of the experiments they give you enough food. Some of the experiments they give you too much food. Some of them they didn't give you enough, just to see what will happen. So like little lab rats kind of thing.
It's
Kinda
almost
like
like it's almost like right now they're trying to create their own food.
Well, yeah. So it's a lot of
Yeah, they had. I was in the first episode. They had a cow there.
Mhm. Yeah, with the two heads.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's one of those things that's from the game. Whereas like it got mutated and they just still eat it anyway because there's no food. Now, the thing that I always have a problem with these post-apocalyptic things is we figured out how to do a lot of stuff. So unless all the libraries were burned down or whatever, it's like most of the knowledge that we have up to a certain point is in books. So it's like, so they always make these things where everything falls apart. I'm like, yeah, okay, but if you can get a hold of some books that tell you how to build certain things, these things can help you build other things. And so like every time I get one of these post-apocalyptic things, it's always like the same stuff. It's like there was one where what they did. They had where the way that they have the society in the future where it's screwed up is there was a disease that killed everybody over the age, like who was teenagers and above. So everybody who was teenagers and above, they got sick and they died. So what was left over was 10-year-olds and 11-year-olds kids. So it was a show with Luke Perry, like and this takes place when he's like in his late 20s, 30s. So this is 15 years later after a society where all the adults died.
Oh,
Yeah, so there's like, all right, so I can see how that society can fall apart because there's nobody to teach them anything. So they're going through puberty, they're doing everything like this without knowing how anything works.
in the first episode, when it was how is it possible that the Raiders only had like 10 guys or whatever, and they took over the whole boat?
Well, dude, you basically invaded the suburbs where they have they don't have any weapons. Like their armory was like train guns.
Oh, okay.
Right, yeah.
But it's
So
just funny. It was just funny. The battle scene, it was hilarious.
yeah, because nobody like there's a difference between like I can show you I can train you how to do martial arts, but if you never actually fight, fight, you won't know exactly what to do when you get into an actual fight. So you come across somebody who's used to surviving and who's vicious, that might intimidate you to the point where you forget all the stuff that you learned because you never actually. It's the difference between book knowledge and experience, right?
Yeah, like the black guy had the chubby guy was funny.
Yeah, and like I don't know, but the way the way the squire carried himself, it didn't feel to me like a person who was in training since he was a little kid. So he kind of ran. He was like goofy, and like when he took the armor, I was like, what do you think what you're gonna do? It was like he was just not as naive as Lucy was, and Lucy was stuck in the vault for her whole life. So the dude had scars. Yeah,
For years. I don't get it.
Hmm?
How are you saying they're like 200? Been 200 years. They're like different genes or what?
no, there's like a number of people you can put into an environment where it'll be self-sustaining for a bit. You grow your own crops, and there's certain other things like long as you can make medicine, so long as you make medicines and you don't let your population grow beyond a certain point. I mean, you have to be very strict and regulated, but it's possible that they can be in there for a long time. So they had the fake sky to keep them from going crazy, being trapped underground. And just like whenever we have these conversations about technology, what people get used you'll be amazed at what people get used to.
The little short guy was the brother, right, of Lucy?
Right. Yeah. So, sister is relatively tall for a woman. Dad's tall and he's short. So, that's kind of how genetics works sometimes.
Yeah, he went hiding into the Lucy put him into the little thing to go
Right.
hide.
Yeah. Yeah, because, he's like I said, it's a difference between someone showing you how to fight and you actually fighting. Like Mike Tyson said, everybody has a plan till they get punched in the face.
That's how you react.
Right. Yeah. And if you've never experienced that, You find out a bunch of people who are surviving monsters and various other raiders and whatnot. Oh yeah, they have no problem with killing people, and that's essentially what that the professor do. That scientist guy told Lucy is like, bro, it's like you came out out of the vault and you start a fire at nighttime. You don't know what the hell is out here, and you're about to get eaten up by these cockroaches.
Yeah, monsters, outlaws, raiders, everybody.
Yeah, and like,
they'll
and
just
that's
get
my
you
whole
for your equipment, whatever you
and
have
that was,
on.
yeah, that was my whole thing. It's like you went out with no plan, no nothing. You just, and I understand that's an element from the game where it is you don't know what's going on. You have zero clue. You're leaving the vault for the first time, and like what happens because you have no idea, and you have to fend for yourself, and eventually you get better weapons and you can defend yourself so you don't die. And slowly you
I thought it was gonna be more like zombie stuff, but it wasn't.
no, well, I mean they have ghouls, so they have stuff. They have things that can be construed as zombies. Like that's what like yeah. So when they was saying like when the dudes dug up the ghoul to get his help, right? And they were talking about feral ghouls. So basically, what happens is they get so much radiation, so like quickly it kills their brain. So therefore, it's still it still can move around, but it only has baser instincts. So it's a by all intents and purposes, it's a zombie. Now the ghouls thing, like the thing with Scoggins is that if you get exposed to radiation over a longer period of time, then it actually transforms you into a creature that will live for basically ever because he can regenerate himself. That's how come he got shot and he just kind of shook it off because they can regenerate their limbs. They can regenerate a lot of stuff. Now, if you shoot him in the head, that'll kill him. But the only thing that doesn't regenerate is their brain. But everything else, like arms, limbs, like whatever, yeah, that'll grow back.
What was it? Which episode was it? Was it episode 2 when they unbury him, the cowboy guy?
The end of episode 1 is that's when you're introduced to like they introduce you to all 3 characters in the first one. All right.
Okay.
So right. So you meet him at the end of the first episode. So that's when they dig him up. And basically what he said that some dude was cutting parts off of him for whatever reason. Like the parts grow back because he's a ghoul. And he lived like he's been around for 200 years, right? So there's a bunch of them out there that are like that, where they've been around a long time. So they were there when everything blew up. So they had one where it was a little kid, like one of the games is a little kid. You find him, and he's trapped inside a refrigerator. He's been in a refrigerator for 200 years. Because he went into it to survive the explosion. Because they got silly people who think that you can survive being in a nuclear explosion in a refrigerator. So he got stuck in it. So you let him out during one of the in Fallout 4, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So yeah. Like I said, these games are interesting. So I'm actually like I said, I didn't. Thanks to the terribleness that it was Ahsoka and Echo and that kind of stuff. This was rare. It wasn't Shogun, and it wasn't even Bad Batch. I actually like Bad Batch. So in terms of the first 2 episodes, I had some issues with certain elements of the story, but overall, it was it was fine.
Yeah, I like this because it's more. They made it into more of a comedy, so it's kind of funny.
Yeah. So they have some people who are fans who are even more fans of the game who are annoyed by it, but I'm not one of them. So
it's not gonna get us. It was not gonna be perfect.
No. So all right, well, that's not a summary or just a brief impression of the first 2 things. We'll go over it in depth, I guess, next week when I watch all of them. So that way we can have a overall season review of the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the next thing I want to talk about is Shogun episode 9. All right. My favorite person died, which pissed me off. But
Well,
dude,
according to the book, it says that she sacrificed herself for so people could escape. So I think that's what they meant, right?
right, yeah. She was tired of she didn't want to live. It is basically
But she was
understanding their
miserable.
Hmm?
She was already miserable.
Right, and you have to understand their society is even though she clearly loved Blackthorn, she had feelings for him. She couldn't leave her husband for him.
Mhm.
I guess that they can get a divorce, but I'm not exactly sure how that worked in Japan at that particular time. So and with the flashback in the beginning of her running out into the snow, it's like I cannot even remotely imagine having to be intimate with someone who I cannot stand in any capacity. And not only I have to be intimate because that is my responsibility as their spouse, I have to bear his child. Even though I cannot clearly, since the moment she laid eyes on his ass, she did not like him at all.
What was the
But
purpose you think Toranaga sent her there to Osaka Castle?
yeah, I think it was to remind the other because the
Other console guys?
that they're samurai. Because like the whole like when she had the little speech, right? When she stood up there and she checked him, Ishido, she had checked him. It's like by saying that I'm not a peasant for you to be like bossing me around. He's like, that's not how,
Because
you know,
he was a peasant.
right. So he started out as a peasant. He's worked himself up as a bureaucrat, which was possible. But in the eyes of the samurai, it's like your status is even lower than mine. Even if I have nothing, I'm descended from samurai. So even in my mind, you could be the richest person and whatever, you're still lower status than me from my point of view. Hence the reason why after the Taiko's wife died, like was dying, she told the Julie, man, I am so bad with names, but she told the heir's mom that don't marry this dude. He's low born. It's like
I think also Toranaga sent her Maniko, right? Maniko?
Mariko, yeah.
He sent her to because the other console were Christians. Some of the samurais,
Right.
They were they became Christians.
Right. So like I said,
they were not going to allow her to kill herself.
Well,
they were not gonna. They were gonna prevent it, like telling it was it Shido.
Yeah. So I do have something that I found.
Pressure on them. That's what I'm saying.
Right. So I do have something that I found. All right. So this right here.
That's the best thing right there.
Miyai殿、指揮をお願いいたしまする。
光栄にございまする、マリコ様。
起勢
All right. So even though these guys know that there is no chance in hell that they're making it out of this castle, right? But because everything it is your duty to live and to die for your Lord. Period. That's
and
how
other
you go.
Christians can't touch her, huh?
No, it's not.
Yeah.
It's no. It's not that. It is the fact that they have two different cultures happening at the same time within them. All right. And it is uh, right, it is that you have the Japanese culture and you have what they're learning from being Christians. All right, so the whole turn your own cheek or whatever. So it's kind of like it's going back and forth. I think this was a means to remind them of their Japanese side. It's like this: you're listening to this low-born dude who is doing these things to you, and you're letting this happen to you because of other beliefs, right? So I'm not exactly. It's like I the way he seems to work is he understands how people think. Right. So I don't have to tell you to do anything. So what happens is I do this, and because I know you, there's a pretty good chance you're gonna do this. So it's like a chess game. So I'm like, I don't know, I can't tell you which moves to do, but I know like I understand how to win this game. So if I move my piece here, if I move it this over here, like right here, and even though it looks like an innocent thing, it sets up a series of dominoes that eventually will get this position piece in the position that I needed to do. So like from his from his main dude killing himself, his main vassal killing himself in the previous episode, that is to push the uncle dude into betraying him. All right, because yeah. So like I said, it's schemes upon schemes. It's like, all right, I know if I do this and I know if I do that. Now him humiliating himself with his little brother, like he understands his hothead son, that his hothead son would do something. He don't know what it is, but his hothead son would do something because of honor and whatever, right? Now, did he imagine him slipping on a rock and killing himself? Probably not. But he would either die trying to kill the guy or kill his brother. So either way, I'm in a period of mourning because my family member died.
The only problem I was disappointed was in the episode. I thought they were already like they were gonna start preparing it for the big war, and they didn't do it. They didn't do nothing like that.
Well, this is more of a cerebral kind of thing. All right. Like, so
But yeah, we
even
only have one more episode. That's it.
right. So even with this scene is like, and she's, she's surrounded, all of it, everybody gets killed. And it's like, I think these are because they don't have both samurai swords. I'm trying to remember how it works. It's like you got to have you can have a sword in the military, but I think to be a samurai you have to have both. You have the big sword and the little one, and that is how you are a
So
samurai.
basically, they're the guards of the Osaka castle.
Right. So they're not samurai, but they're in the military, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, they're in the military.
So right. So from their point of view, she's still like nobility. All right.
Yeah,
So
because remember they tell her don't harm her.
right. It's like hold on a second. My godson is getting very excited about Fortnite again. So even though like otherwise they would just come in if she was a guy, they would have just came in and just stabbed the shit out of her ass at that point, right? When she's running around swinging the spear at them and whatnot. So it's like it is an interesting insight into Japanese culture for a bit.
I was surprised she could even fight with those sandals that she had. You seen those sandals that they wear?
Yeah, no, I mean, like
They barely move.
Yeah, but dude, she has a tight fitting kimono on too, so it's not like she has active wear like they have pants on. So it's not like she was not gonna win this fight. So none of this was about them fighting out of this thing. It
They
was
showed that castle, the samurai castle in Japan. It's still there, but it been built multiple times. It was destroyed. But they still have some of the original Japan, the Osaka castle.
right.
It looks the same way, almost like the way it's showing it right now.
Yeah, so it's probably been improved in certain aspects.
Yeah,
but
of course, they improved it, but it was surrounded by like water.
Mm-hmm.
and then the castle was like right in the middles, and they had those big old walls. Um, so that was like the last resort.
Oh yeah.
Had like booby traps and like holes where they shoot arrows and all that.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, like, dude, there's gonna be a war. It's just I don't know how much of it we're gonna actually get to see.
That's
Because
not
eventually,
if it's gonna be disappointed if there's no really
well, dude, all right. So this is more of a, like I said, this is more of a cerebral type of thing. It's like, and in essence, that like you did get you did get some battle scenes for Game of Thrones, but a lot of Game of Thrones was like this.
yeah.
Well, it was everyone scheming against each other to put themselves in positions of power. All right.
But you have to remember at the last episodes and every season it was a war. It was a big battle.
Yeah. Basically, what I mean by the fact that they did have
Walmart Plus members save on delivery, gas, plus so much more.
trailers on
Join
everything.
today.
So, all right, but I did enjoy, like, I really enjoyed the scene when she did her speech in front of like everyone, and when she put him in his place, kind of thing. Just the sheer like nobility.
She's gonna be the next day.
Right. So it just
we're like, no, you're not going nowhere.
no, but all right. So that whole thing was one, to put him in his place, two, her just the way she carried herself and all that stuff was a reminder to all the other people there about who they were and who he is, kind of thing. Right. So she didn't yell.
Toranaga's plan.
Right. So everything is part of his plan. Is just that it's just I don't know. I'm not exactly sure what it is, kind of thing, you know. So, but unlike unlike the thing we just talked about, like Fallout, where I don't know exactly what's going on and like who's playing or whatever. I don't really know if everyone's playing in this thing either, but because it's the way it's so well written to where that doesn't matter, and you want to find out the little bits and pieces that they're giving to you. All right. So the fact that she was going to go through the whole thing where she committed seppuku to like basically put Ishido in a position that he couldn't get out of. Right. So, and that's what the heir's mother basically told him. It's like, bro, I can't give you advice because if you do something, so if you let her kill herself, it's gonna piss off all the freaking nobles you have in this castle right now. But if you let her go, it's still gonna piss them off, but then they're gonna want to leave, and then you'll lose your leverage. So
even Toranaga's half brother was there, right?
Right.
So he left his army with over there with Toranaga, right?
Right. So he surrounded Ito. So he came back by himself because he's the head of but he has generals and all that stuff. So because he's a regent, so he's back with all the other regions. So they all have like armies and they all have territories. And like because of how their society is, they're not gonna attack them. So that's why he has them hostage, so that their armies won't attack them. Right.
And Soka Castle.
Right. But if you put him in a position where it's like everyone says that they have honor, but they all do the most dishonorable shit. Right?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So is hold on. He's loud. All his friends are loud. He's like, well, anyway. So he's trying to put everyone in the position, and like it's the chess move thing. It's like, all right, so he's so she was the little piece that he put in the middle of the board to push the other regions in the direction that he needs them to go. All right. And as long as they sit there and they take what's happening to him without doing anything, then he can't do anything because he doesn't have a big enough army to actually attack the castle. But
Yeah.
if he can get one of them to switch over to his side, and that, that could do it.
I remember when the ninjas got in the castle.
You mean this? Yeah.
Yeah,
the uncle. Yeah.
Because the Shido wanted her to get kidnapped, huh?
Right. No, he basically what he told him was that I will accept your patronage. Like I'll be your patron, but you got to do something for me.
Mm-hmm.
So now, is this part of Toranaga's plan? I don't know. But this cannot possibly go over well with the rest.
At first, I thought that was a plan of Toranaga that they were going to show up there like ninjas.
No, but see, so you prevent her from killing herself because that is not going to be a good look for you if she does. But then the next day, you send ninjas in order to send ninjas in order to kill everybody in the castle. Like, how the hell do you explain that to people?
Yeah,
because there's like, dude, that's a little bit coincidental. Like you let her go.
And kill a lot of the guards there too.
Right. So you say that she can go, and then you give permission. You give slight permission to the other family members from the other regions that they can go if they get a permit. And then that night, everyone in her little section gets slaughtered. It's like that's kind of stupid to do that.
That's pretty cool. I like ninjas. That's pretty cool. They put it on the
right.
9.
Yeah, but in terms of strategy, is really dumb. So they come in, right? They just basically kill. Yeah, so they basically kill everybody in. Right, so it's like, so I'm looking at this. I'm like, dude, this is stupid. Like, why would you do this? But this is not something that as scheming as the rest of the samurai are, this is not something that they would do. All right. So it also shows to them like his bureaucratic peasant side. It's like this is something that a peasant would do. Kill all his enemies, kind of thing.
Yeah, but a samurai or warriors, ninjas or assassins.
All right. So all right, there is a game called The Ghost of Tsushima. All right. So the way that this game works is that Japan this is the time period where Japan was attacked by the Mongols. Yeah. So the island that you and your uncle control is attacked by the Mongols. So he gets captured and you get knocked off a bridge. So the way the story goes is you can go 2 different paths on in the game. You can go the ninja route, but you slowly turn into a ninja. Essentially, you become the Ghost of Tsushima. And the other route is that you can try very hard to stay in the samurai path, but it's extremely difficult for you to do that. The game is not easier, but the game is a little more manageable if you go the ninja path. You understand? That's climbing on the roof, stabbing people in the back. That's not something you're supposed to do. So you get towards the end of the game, you rescue your uncle, right? And your uncle at the beginning of the game, because samurai are straightforward, we attack, right? I challenge you, kind of thing. He's gonna do that again. And the first time he did at the beginning of the game, he got all the people in his army killed. And so you're like, at this point, it's like, dude, what I'm doing is working. I'm freeing all these people. I'm freeing the whole island. I'm doing this basically by myself and a couple of other people, right? So the way I'm doing stuff works. So your uncle was like, no, but that's not how samurai do anything. So we don't fight like that. It's like you are shaming your family because you're fighting like that. And the way he learns how to do this is from a peasant. The peasant is like, dude, he's like, bro, this is an overwhelming force. You cannot fight them by yourself. So you gotta. That's the one whose brother gives you climbing stuff, so you can climb walls and you can all this other stuff. It's actually a really well written game, and even though you wind up winning in the end, you have to duel your uncle because you brought shame to the family.
Oh, okay.
All right. And this was told to him by the Shogun. So the Shogun, even though you cleared the island off, you kicked all the friggin', like you killed the leader in a duel, and you got rid of all the Mongols on the island. You did this by yourself and the little army of people that you have, right? Because you did it dishonorably, you have to fight your uncle, who you consider a father figure, to the death. No, but it's just basically how Japanese society was. So a samurai wouldn't do that. So all the other samurai were like, bro, like, wait a minute. you sent shinobi after you told them that they could leave. So that's the seed.
Thing about samurai is they're like the Knight Templars, but in Asia, huh?
Well, it is
like they're wearing their dress and all that combat and all that stuff. You know, that Knight Templar were almost the same thing. They go to battle and die for the sword of God and all that. The samurai.
Right. So it is it's a cultural thing. So when she stood up and she was telling him that, it's like, bro, it's like, you telling me stuff. You're a peasant. It's like, I don't have to listen to you.
And he got
of course he got offended. He's like, so you're a dude who worked his way up, and even though you are leading the regions, they still look down on you.
But basically, they don't respect them.
No, because he doesn't come from the right family. Period. End of story.
But everybody knows that.
Yeah,
just full of shit.
No, it is.
It's like you're a warrior, right? Say you're a samurai.
Yeah.
And then I don't know how to fight. I've never been a samurai, and I'm trying to lecture you and tell you what to do. And you're like, fuck are you?
Bro, it's even deeper than that. It is, and that's why she said, I'm descended from samurai for 1,000 years. Right. So my bloodline is pure.
Mm-hmm.
You were like, your family comes from peasantries. You was working in, like, your dad and whatever's working in the fields. It don't matter how much money you have now. I don't care. It's like, you telling me what to do, and all this and she's doing this in front of everybody else because she insulted him. He can't really do anything about it up front. So he can try to prevent her from going and slaughter everybody.
I forgot Monica was the actress from Monarch, right?
Oh, I don't know.
Monica, that's her from Monarch.
Okay. No, I don't think so.
No?
But you kind of throwing me like, no, that's not the same girl.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was the same one.
No, so it's like, so this is the whole moving the pieces on the chessboard thing. So I'm interested to see how this is going to end. So
we'll find out Monday. So,
well, I mean, there's an actual. So we're getting towards the end of this ballyhoo anyway. So I did look at the upcoming
trailer.
Yeah. So we can look at that right quick. If I can find it. All right. Here we go. 9. Nope. Man, I watch too much crap. Everybody in my house is making noise right now. The FX network. So, okay, here we go. So this one is pretty quick. All right, so this is pretty quick. So let's share this particular one. I know this is riveting. All right. So this is the preview trailer for the final season finale.
Ishido-sama has mobilized to war. Toranaga will be dead in weeks.
Don't you understand? I came to your shores to use you! The gripping finale event. 流血は愛ととのためじゃ。出陣やむなし。FX's Shogun, the finale, all new Tuesdays.
Yeah,
Stream on.
I'm disappointed because it's not showing anything to be a big bad or anything. That's why I'm gonna be disappointed.
Well,
I think it's just gonna say at the end, "Oh, Toranaga beat Ashido in this battle of I forgot the name of it."
No, I don't know. So far, season's been really good. Right, even though there's not a lot of action, and I remember as a kid seeing the original. You know, I don't remember how it ended because it was a long fucking time ago.
Is that was like in the 70s?
80s, early 80s.
Yeah, 'cause they show on YouTube some parts of it, like how it was.
Yeah.
Blackthorn and all the Monaco. They were showing.
Yeah. I showed it to Elton, and he decided to try to make me feel old as shit. But right, so it should be interesting. You know, like I said, everything has been cerebral, not so much action. So it's not that type of thing.
Oh.
So I'm not exactly expecting that type of thing. So I have tempered expectations. That's what I would say. All right. But given how much love this thing is getting, they could do the other books because they have they have like 5 more books that they can do.
I'm pretty sure they will.
Yeah. So it is an interesting thing of manipulation because he's basically manipulating the hell out of them. And the interesting thing about Japan is, although there are Christians in Japan, like when the Europeans came to Japan, and this is what I was talking about with Elton once, when they came to China and when they came to Japan, they came with this in the same way that they did for all the South American countries.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas in the South American countries, they basically changed their cultures.
Yeah.
All right.
Eventually they got kicked out, right? All the Europeans, only the Dutch were allowed in a certain port of the south of Japan.
Right. Yeah. That's by order of
they could only stay in that port.
Yeah. So maybe this is
everybody out.
Right. So maybe this is why that was, because I think the Shogun at the time set up you can come to this little spot. And that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can't go y'all caused too much trouble the last time. So y'all stay your asses over there.
And it was not it was only the Dutch. There was no Spaniards or anything. It was the Dutch.
Yeah. So maybe this had something to do with that.
Yeah.
Because like I said, this dude is the Toranaga is very observant on people. So by the fact that he put the church next to the whorehouse, that shows.
Yeah, when he asked the guy,
right.
Who's those people there?
Right. So that basically told the priest what this dude actually thinks of you.
Yeah, basically.
So it's like, yeah, you can have it, man. Go your ass over there. But
it's kind of funny the show in the last trailer where Blackthorn is with the Portuguese priest.
So it looks like they got out. So maybe maybe he because she sacrificed herself, maybe that's why he lets her out. Lets him out. So I don't know. I may actually watch it Tuesday because I want to know what happens. Because normally I wait until like Thursday so we can talk about it.
On Mondays at 9 p.m. already.
So I'll probably watch it Tuesday, and maybe if it's good enough, I'll watch it again so I can remember it for next Saturday. But I will watch the rest of Fallout so we can have that discussion too.
And also the Bad Batch is only 2 more episodes.
Dude, I got so much of that I need to catch up to. So when is the last Empire? Well, the Tales of the Empire supposed to come out?
I think May 4th or first week of May.
Okay, so
It's 6 episodes, 3 of Barris Ophi and 3 of Els. What's her name? The one they're trying to create
I don't know.
that lady, Morgan Ellsberg. Yeah,
I don't really pay that much attention to new
But
stuff.
I want to see the Barris Ophi one. That's the Inquisitors and all that. I want to see that.
All right, so we can when it comes out, we can talk about it, and I will actually watch it because Bad Batch actually gave me some hope. Whereas I am trying very hard not to be black pill on stuff.
Is that Dave Filoni? The same thing. He's doing it.
Yeah.
Oh,
hence, yeah. So
maybe he's just the animation.
Well, a knock against Ahsoka was the storylines were the kind that you would do in cartoons.
They would have just Soka. They should have just made an animation too.
That might not help because she is
in animation when the Jedi's are fighting. Now that looks so much better.
Yeah, but dude, his biggest problem with her is she has no significant importance to the overall Star Wars story. But he likes her so much that he's trying to shoehorn her into it, and that's what it looks like. It's just like
the Clone Wars that was not won by Disney. George Lucas, the one that created that,
right? But he wanted Ahsoka to die, so Dave Filoni is the one who rescued her.
But at the last of the Clone War, remember she crashes with Rex and they survive.
Mm-hmm.
So
George Lucas wanted her to die.
Well, she could have died with the on Rebels.
But that's a Dave Filoni thing.
Yeah.
So
you never know. She'll die.
Well, see, this is why you shouldn't really do prequels because you're boxed into a corner based on the actual story that's already been told, and then you wind up with these like. Well, you got to do these weird story things to make something happen that, again, like R2-D2 having friggin' jetpacks. It's like if he had jetpacks, why the hell he didn't fly out of the swamp in Dagobah?
Yeah.
Right. So it's just like, yeah, you're introducing stuff that you think is cool, but then you got to also tell in the same story why this person doesn't have this anymore. Because it would make no sense for any person to take the jetpacks out of the damn R2-D2 robot.
I hope the series with the Tales of the Empire made they could, like I told you, we were talking about, they can make it the Tales of the Bounty Hunter, the Tales of the different stuff. There's so much stuff you could do. So it'll be nice.
Yes. I have given the state of Star Wars, I have little to no faith in the people who are there. What the hell?
The hell was that?
The dude on the motorcycle was so loud he picked up some other noise on my computer. Like he scared the hell out of my computer. So, all right. So that is the end of the episode. Ricky, what you about to get into, bro?
Gonna check out the highlights of the NBA games.
Yeah, the Clippers won. Celtics won.
Yeah, they were blowing them out, right? Third quarter.
Yeah.
I seen there was already a blowout.
Yeah. So the Clippers now, Dallas is probably going to retool and figure out a way to make the next game close. So that should be a good series. I think that's probably going to be, well, no, that's discussion for another show. This is a show about pop culture. All right. Well, I'm going to make something to eat for dinner and try to relax a little bit. So on behalf of my friend here and myself, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you to the 5 people who are watching. You appreciate it. Thank you very much. And all that good fun stuff. So please do all the YouTube things. And we are out.